Hello and welcome back. So in this video, I want us to take a look at some mathematical utility functions that we can invoke on lists that are made up of numbers. Okay, so I have already copied the exam scores list that you saw in some previous video, and we are going to learn about how to apply those mathematical functions over here. Okay, so mind you, these functions we are going to learn do not only work on the list, but anything that is subscriptable or anything that is iterable. So you can pass in a tuple or a list, and it's going to work as expected. Okay. The first thing that I want us to learn about is called sum. So there is a function called sum which you can pass a list to, and it is going to sum all the items in the list and give you the value. So remember that over here we are talking about a list where each of the items have numeric data type. So it could be integers and float or a mix of them. That is fine. But if you bring in strings and other data types, then you are going to confuse the function. It wouldn't know what to do. So these functions work strictly with lists that are made up of items that have numeric data types. So let's say I want to calculate the total exam scores. I'm going to say total is equal to, and then you invoke the function called sum, and then you pass exam scores to it. So this is basically going to calculate the sum of all the items in the exam score. So 45 plus 20 plus 72 plus 91 plus 69 plus 82 plus 88 plus 15 plus 40 plus 33, and that is the answer we're going to get. So I'm going to print here, and I'm going to use my f strings. Okay, so I'll say total, and then I'm going to put in total here. So let's run this program and see what we get for the total exam scores. So I'm going to say Python 3, and this is in a list math.py file. So the total exam score is 555, and this is purely coincidental. I never planned the numbers to arrive at this number. Okay. All right. So the next thing we want to learn about is another function called min, and there is the opposite max, which basically gives us either the minimum or the maximum value from your list of numbers. Okay, so let's say I want to get the least score. So the least score, I want to know what was the least score in my exam. Okay, then I invoke the main function and I pass in the exam scores, and now I can print it out. So again, I'm going to use f strings. So I'll say least score or minimum score, and then I'm going to put in here least score. Let's run this program again and see what we get for that. So the least score is indeed 15, and you can verify that 15 is the smallest score that was recorded in the list of exam scores. Now I want us to see how we can get the max. Okay, so I have another function is called max. Okay, so I can say greatest score or biggest score, whichever one you find appropriate, and then you call the function max and you pass in the list of numbers. So remember, the list that you pass to these functions should be of should have items of numeric data types. And so I come down here and I print greatest score, and I'll say max score. Sorry, this is supposed to be singular, this is supposed to be singular also. So least score and max score. Okay, so I'm going to clear screen and I'll run it again, and you can see that indeed 91 is the greatest score that we had in the list. So this, ladies and gentlemen, are some of the functions that you can invoke and pass in lists that are made up of numeric items, and they will give you some cool mathematical functions. So thank you very much for watching this. Let's take a quick pause, and I'll see you in the next video where we talk about how we can sort the items in a list.